Okay, so 8.2, multiplying and factoring, helpful hint, multiply numbers, add exponents. Ladies,
Yeah.
what do I get right here, buddy? Multiply numbers, add exponents.
You get -9 x, then 7.
X to the 7th, right? -1 times 9, -9. X cubed plus x to the 4th, x to the 7th. Benjamin, what do I get for the second one, multiplying these two terms? -1 times -2 is?
You get 2x.
To the?
6.
Good. Plus 2x to the 6, excellent. Oops, not third. 2x to the 6. What do I get for the little last one, Quade? Multiplying these two together.
7.
-1 times 7 is? -7x to what power? Good. -7x cubed. That is in standard form. How can I tell?
It's in order.
It's in order, right? Highest exponent, next highest, and so on. Okay, that's what standard form is. Okay, good job. Anyone need more time on that? Okay, yep. Write it down. So I had some people, it's really only in this class that said IC was messed up. So check IC and make sure yours isn't messed up, and I'll fix it during work time, okay? You just got to show me the assignments with the grades and I'll fix it. Yeah? Okay. With an assignment? Okay, we'll just check during work time. There are not that many slides here. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
All right. So, we're going to do this one. It says list of prime factors. I find it pretty stupid to list the prime factors. I'll do it one time because it might help a kid, but I won't ever do it again because it irritates me. We're going to factor this top one like normal, so write that top one down, please. I'll write it down here. 5x cubed plus 25x squared plus 45x. So figuring out what the greatest common factor is, I think about a few things. One, I look to see if they're all even numbers. Are they all even numbers? No. None of them are. Right? Then I think next, right, so does 2 divide in? No. Does 3 divide in? 3 does not divide into 5. But they all end in 5, so what divides into them? 5, right? So we can take a 5 out of there. So we're looking for the biggest number and the smallest number, so biggest actual number and smallest number of exponents to take out. So what do we get? 5 what, Xavier? What letter can I divide out of there? What letter do they all have? Don't make that hard. You're making that way too hard, man. Didn't understand my question, or you're just a little bit confused. So when I divide that out, I always write that number in front of the parentheses, and then I write what's left. Right? So what's left here? 5 divided by 5 is, and x cubed divided by x is. So x cubed means this. 3 x's divided by 1x. One of these x's cancel. How many do I have left? 2 of them. So this is 1x squared. You don't have to write the 1. If it helps you to understand to write the 1, go ahead. Question, Casey?
Why are you putting the 5x?
You basically, when we factor out, if you look at the previous problem, right? So it's kind of like you have to be able to end up where we started. So if I distributed this in, right? This is my answer. If I factor it out, then I get this. So we're going the opposite direction. Instead of multiplying it in, we're factoring out the greatest common factor. So we're dividing out a 5x. So that 5x would be like this x cubed we're taking out of here. Right? If I factor this, I can take an x cubed out of it, and this is what I'd have left. So we're doing that on this example. So 25 divided by 5 is, anyone? 5. So plus 5 what? X squared divided by x. What's the rule for exponents, top and bottom? Subtract them, right? So it's just 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1. So you guys are, for whatever reason, nobody ever puts the little ones on the x's and you get problems wrong, so don't be like that. Just put the little ones there so you can see what the subtraction is. So we have 5x. What happens to the x's on this last one? Meredith, what happens? X over x goes away, right? Cancel. 45 divided by 5? 9. Good. So, Casey, if we now take this 5x and multiply it back in, we end up where we started. So that's a good kind of built-in double check. 5x times x squared is 5x cubed. 5x times 5x is 25x squared. 5x times 9 is 45x. That's how you know you did it correctly. Okay? So we're just going the opposite direction, taking that GCF out, seeing what we have left in each fraction. Okay, next one. We're just doing a bunch of these. Oh wait, I want to show you that prime factorization. You don't have to write this down, okay? Because it irritates me. You don't have to write this down. So the prime factors of 8 are what? Do you remember how to get prime factors? If we start with 8, two numbers that multiply together to get 8 are 4 and 2. Can I break apart 4? Yeah. 2 and 2. So the prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 2. You like my electric purple? It's beautiful, I know. And then how many x's do I have? It's not a hard question, people. 3 of them, yeah. So times x, times x, times x. Prime factorization of 16, I just add one more 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And I have 2 x's here, so times x times x. 24 is 3 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then I just have 1x. So all that work just to get a greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor of this thing, right? I have 3 2's in all of them. So I know I say, and then I have 1x here, 1x here, 1x here. But you have to have the same number of 2's, right? So I can only take 3 out because this one only has 3. Same with that one. And then I can take 1x out. Isn't that stupid? Like, I think that just made the problem like 4 times as difficult. If I just look here, we're just going to factor this. Hold on one sec, Taylor. Do you have a question on this last one now?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Having a little meltdown. You can do it.
So you like saying they don't have 3 2, but that one, the middle has 4.
But you can only take the most number of 2's that all of them have. Right? So if one of them has 4, this one doesn't have 4, so you can't take 4 2's out of that. Right? So I find that to be upsetting. What's the greatest common factor? Bigger than that? 3 2's, 8, good. What else can I divide out? How many x's? Only 1. So biggest number I can divide out and least number of x's. So we can take an 8x out of each one. Then we take that 8x that goes in front of the parenthesis. What do I have left in that first fraction, Shane?
What?
First fraction, what do I have left?
X, yeah.
X what?
Squared.
Good.
Or cube.
Squared.
Yeah, squared.
Subtract exponents, right? Don't be lazy, write the little 1 if it confuses you. So what do I have left on the second fraction, Armando? 16 divided by 8 is?
2.
2. X squared divided by x? Just x. Good. Keep going, Armando. 24 divided by 8?
4.
3. X divided by x?
0.
Just cancels. So students get confused by that. Tell me what 2 divided by 2 is, anyone?
1.
2 divided by 2 is 1. So what's x divided by x then? 1. Right? It's the same thing. Same concept. Try this one on your own. If you have no idea what the hell's going on, put your hand up and I'll help you. Okay? Sounds like a personal problem.
No.
Yeah. So what's the biggest number I can divide out of all three? But I can't divide 3 by 12.
Oh,
Yes, you can.
no, you can't.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can.
But we're talking about like factoring out, right? So I can't factor out any more than this 3 right here, right?
Well, you can split into 9, right?
I can divide 3 out of 9. I can divide 3 out of 12 as well, right? So let me write this 3x to the 4th minus 9x squared minus 12x. So the biggest number I can divide out is 3. So you're kind of looking for the smallest number and then seeing if you can divide it out, but that doesn't always work. And then the least number of x's is what, Tail?
3.
That's not the least number of x's, and there's none of them that have 3 x's, by the way. I have 4 x's here, 2 x's here, and 1 x there. So what's the smallest number of x's?
Oh,
Just 1, right? So you get 3x with the little 1 on the x's.
I did that this time.
Good job. How many x's left right here, Shane?
You have 3.
Yeah. X cubed, good. Minus what? Keep going.
3x.
Good. Minus
4.
4. Good. Perfect.
Is that all?
That's it? Yeah, that's it.
Wait, no,
Go ahead.
when there's like a letter, a number above the x. that's
Right,
the
the exponent. That's the exponent. So what was your question? I missed the end of your question.
Like, that's how many x's there.
Yeah. So I always look for the smallest number of x's, right? I have 4 here, 2 here, and 1 here. So that means I can divide 1 x out of each one. Right?
What if the smallest was 2 then?
Then, yeah, you just take x squared out, because that'll definitely happen. Okay? It's a good question. All right, write this one down. How about we'll make it like the problem Taylor was talking about. We'll add a little x squared right there. So if I have 4x to the 5th minus 24x cubed plus 8x squared. Lucy, what can I divide out? Good, for what? What's the smallest number of x's I have? No. Because I have x to the 5th here, 5 of them, 3 of them, 2 of them. Smallest number is 2 of them. Right? That's all. So 4x squared. That's why I wanted to make that point. Get that aha moment out of you. So we take that 4x squared, write it in front of the parentheses. What do I have left on that first fraction, Eva?
X cubed,
You can just keep going.
minus 6x, 1,
Plus
2x.
2. Just 2. Yeah.
Why would we divide, like, I understand that the 4x squared.
So I look for the smallest number of x's I have, right? I have x to the 5th cubed and squared. Because I have x squared, that means I can take x squared out of all of them because every other exponent is higher than that. Okay? It's a good question. All right, let's have you try this one on your own. I'll write it bigger so you can actually see it. 9x to the 6th plus 15x to the 4th plus 12x squared. Yeah. Okay, try that on your own, please. In the drawer. Get that one.
This one.
No.
You figured that was at your house, by the way.
What's that? Good job.
My question.
You did your homework by yourself?
Well, I don't like the word ones that are like,
Oh.
right, why this is better. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I know.
I
It's
don't
annoying.
care, like.
What do you use?
Remainder theorem?
Oh, the old remainder theorem. Yep.
I mean,
We're kind of doing the same thing, and you said that before, and
we're
students.
doing polynomials
learn the rational root theorem? Like the P's and Q's, you're not doing that? Good. Yes, that's good.
I would
Because I'm like,
prefer the other way.
would you?
Fine, yeah, I always prefer the other way.
I know, the problem is that many of the high school kids are lazy and don't want to do that. Do you have a question, Xavier? Okay. Do I need to come over there? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the smallest number of x?
Oh, yeah.
Right, so it's 3x squared, 3x squared, 3x squared. Right, smallest number of x's, so that was squared, oh, you're doing the other one, okay.
Highly doubt it. I see my notes somewhere.
Because you can't provide 50.
Who can, work you through the whole thing? Go for it, Chief.
Okay, so the minimum thing you can divide by is trace. X squared. Because that's the low.
Biggest number I can divide out, smallest number of exponents I can divide out.
Yeah.
Okay?
So then you got 3x squared outside the parentheses. And then it's 3x to the fourth. And then plus 5x to the second.
Perfect.
And then plus 4.
Perfect, good job. Okay? How many people got that right? Good. If you got it wrong, can you ask me a question, like, so I can help you out? Anybody? It's important if you do. All right, moving on. Draw just a square in the circle, okay? If you want to draw the helicopter, more power to you. My artistic talents do not allow for that. How do you get area of a square?
No, not at all.
Square does not have pi. They're almost done. The area of a square, how do I do it? Come on, Quaid, you know. One side by the other, also known as length times width. You could also say base times height, same difference, same thing, right? I could also say, in this case, what do I have to multiply together? For the area of the square, what's the side length?
2x.
2x. So what do I multiply that by?
2x.
Another 2x, and I get? 2x times 2x is what? 4x squared, right? So don't forget to add those exponents, right? Multiply numbers, add exponents. And then I have area of a circle. Raise, don't say it out loud. Raise your hand if you know the formula for area of a circle. Raise your hand. It's got a pi. It's got an R. What is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm scared now.
Yeah, no, I'm nervous.
You're a little scared. It's okay.
It's
Pi.
And then times
R.
pi r times
Squared. Pi r squared, right? We expect you guys to know these kind of things. Okay, so if you don't know formula for area of a circle, you'll take PSAT 9 this year. You know how you guys used to blow off TCAP and PARC and all that crap? So PSAT 9 is like the SAT. So if you want to get good experience in taking those kinds of tests, if SAT is like at least 1/3 of how you get into college, your SAT score, it's good to practice on those tests and try to get the highest score you can so you get used to that kind of test. Because there's like tight time constrictions. They design the test to be harder than you can possibly finish, right? Unless you're like a freshman in advanced algebra 2, that kid will probably finish the math portion, but they design it to be harder, like so you can't finish it, right? They're trying to challenge you like that. We'll talk about test taking strategies and all that kind of stuff as that test gets closer. I think it's in the second week of April when you guys take that. Okay. So what's the radius of this circle?
x.
So pi what?
Pi x squared.
Pi x squared. Okay. How do we get the area of the middle here? Or they want the red part. What is the area? The shaded region. So they want this part.
Oh no. Oh.
What two things can we subtract? Yeah,
The area of the circle and the area of the
which one comes first, circle or square?
square.
Square minus
The area
circle,
of the
okay?
circle.
So that's how we're gonna do this one, square minus circle.
There are problems like this on the SAT, by the way.
What? Silly Billy.
So it helps you guys if you stay organized like this, right? So I wrote area of the square, area of the circle, then I look at my picture and I plug in the x and the 2x, and then I'm just subtracting these two. So I'm subtracting 4x squared minus pi x squared. So no big deal. 4x squared minus pi x squared. And then they told me up top they want me to write this in factor form. What can I factor out? The x what? X squared. Good. So I can divide out that x squared. So I get x squared. What's left in that first fraction?
4.
And second one?
5.
Just 5. Okay? So that's it? Right? Homework's on the board, page 495, answer 39 odd? Yeah.
Oh, wait.
No, I'm
it's
just
1/3.
stopping the,
Did you write that out?
it did record.
Stop.
No, maybe it did.
Actually,
There it is, okay, good job.
I'm gonna